Welcome, my friend. Tonight, I invite you to slow down, take a breath, and listen to a story that might just touch your heart. After the Geneva Accords of 1954, Vietnam was divided along the 17th parallel. The North, under Ho Chi Minh, embraced socialism and the dream of uniting the nation. The South, led by Ngo Dinh Dinh Diem, struggled under a fragile government supported by the United States. For ordinary families, this division was more than a line on a map. It was a wound that cut through homes, hearts, and lives. In a small village near the Mekong Delta, a boy named Than often sat by the river watching the water flow. The river was calm, yet he could feel the tension in the air, a tension that would soon sweep through his life. His father, a quiet man who had fought against the French, spoke to him of courage. "Remember, my son," he said, "our country is like this river. It bends, it twists, but it never stops." By the late 1950s, the countryside had grown tense. The South, with American support, aimed to suppress communist influence. The North sent cadres south, quietly organizing resistance among the peasants. Then, barely 16, became a courier for a local resistance group. Under the cover of night, he delivered messages from village to village. Every step was dangerous. Helicopters roared overhead. Patrols moved through the rice paddies. Each journey demanded courage and cunning. Than learned fear and bravery in equal measure. He saw friends taken. He watched homes burn. Yet he also witnessed acts of kindness that shone through the darkness. One evening, he encountered an American soldier, lost and separated from his unit. Than debated whether to help him. Helping could mean death. But in the end, he led the soldier, Daniel, to a hiding place. They spoke no common language, yet they understood each other. In that silent exchange, they shared survival, hope, and the longing for peace. As the 1960s progressed, the war escalated. American troops arrived in greater numbers. Villages like Than's were caught in a web of bombs, ambushes, and suspicion. The Mekong Delta, once calm and fertile, became a landscape of fear. Families hid their sons. Women carried water and rice for the fighters. Children learned the sound of helicopters before they could even recognize the songs of birds. Than grew into a young man amid this chaos. He saw the Tet Offensive of 1968, a campaign that shook even the strongest soldiers. Nights were filled with gunfire. Mornings were heavy with smoke and sorrow. Than's village survived, but not without loss. Every home bore a scar. Every path through the rice paddies carried memory. Yet, even in the darkness, humanity persisted. Years later, Daniel, the American soldier Than once saved, returned, not as a soldier, but as a man seeking reconciliation. Their reunion was awkward. Memories of fear lingered, but beneath the mango tree where they met, they shared stories of family, of loss, and of survival. In that conversation, the war felt just a little farther away. By the early 1970s, the United States began to withdraw. The South faced the North alone. Than, now 25, had learned that wars are not only fought on battlefields, they live in hearts, in the quiet despair of mothers, and in the courage of those who keep walking despite the bombs. When the North finally advanced and Saigon fell in 1975, Than did not celebrate. He mourned. He mourned the lives lost, the dreams shattered, and yet he held on to hope, knowing the Mekong still flowed, carrying stories of endurance and resilience. In the years that followed, Than became a teacher. He told the story of the war not in terms of victories or defeats, but through the lives of ordinary people, soldiers, villagers, and children, whose courage had nothing to do with politics, but everything to do with love, sacrifice, and survival. The river, as his father said, never stopped, and neither did the memory of those who had endured, hoping one day for peace.